teacher, or like, are you hard on the kids? Like, what kind of teacher are you? Like, do you do the same thing as being a dad to Ava and Esther, or are you the same?
I think I taught at the Institute of Production and Recording in McNally Smith, and I taught at a place that there were a lot of really cool folks. And so students were exposed to practitioners, like not just guys that, used to be musicians and now they've graduated to teaching. Everybody at both of those places were still making records or touring or managing bands or booking bands. So both of those places really emphasized the idea of having folks that were in it, doing it. And as far as whether people thought I was cool, I don't know, maybe no more than any of the other folks that I worked with there. And as far as a teacher, what I was like, it was interesting because I had Daniel sit in on a class one day. I was teaching songwriting. Before I was at McNally, I was at the Institute of Production and Recording. And I asked Daniel, he listened to the whole thing. I said, what do you think? He goes, wow, you're really good. I had no idea.
I love that.
Cool. Yeah, cool. And there were a couple moments in Daniel's life. Usually you have that that role with your kids where they need to distance themselves and you're not cool. And there was just a few moments I can remember where Daniel would say something that felt very validating to me. And you just need that, I think, as a parent sometimes, because you have so much, you're supporting your kids and you're trying to make them feel good about themselves, but it's not really their job as teenagers to tell you the same thing.
Are your daughters do they think you're pretty cool though? How are they? I mean, is it
they
different?
tease me all the time.
And
I think like social media is really funny that way because I'll post something and they'll just be like, Dad! I can just tell by their comments on there how embarrassed. Who are you? They'll say sometimes.
Do they listen to your music?
Yeah,
they
do.
They like it? Or they do it just to be polite?
I'd like to think they do it because they like it. Cool. And we have a little game where I'll say something related to something will be happening and then I'll quote myself from a song and the girls will just roll their eyes and tease me. And then they'll do it sometimes too, where they'll quote my lyrics for something that they're going through and we'll laugh. So they pay attention. They're paying attention to the music. They don't want Dad to have too big of an ego. And so they've got to slam me down a little bit. But most of the time they really listen to the music and the meaning of the music. And I would say probably more than ever, this record, Knob and Way, has a whole new resonance for them since they've lived with the stuff I'm talking about. It's really about them in certain ways.
And what was your favorite music?
Growing up as a kid?
Yeah. Who'd you listen to?
I grew up as a big fan of rock and roll.
Ray Davies. That's what I wanted to ask you about.
I love Ray Davies. I certainly love the Kinks. I loved the Beatles. I loved the Stones. I loved Dylan. I loved Hendrix. I loved the Clash. I loved Elvis Costello. I loved the English Beat. I mean, I just soaked up everything as a kid. And I grew up listening to KQ and then to KDWB, which was the pop station. Yeah. So all of the rock music and the pop stuff. And it all affected, what I do. And I would say I still am referring back to that music and the music that I make. I'd like to think I've gotten to a place that's sort of a unique assimilation of those styles. And that was when I would teach songwriting, that was what it was all about. It's like we start through imitation and hopefully we reach a more unique voice.
Speaking of voice, you have an incredible voice. It's such a distinct voice too. And I love when you play. It's amazing. And thank you. We, again, love that you came in to tell us a very personal story. Thank you so much. We would like to invite you to stay for a couple more minutes to play a game. Speaking of games.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, it's really super.
Yeah, he's really into it.
This is called Kosher or Not So Kosher. What I do is I go around the panel. As you can see, we have a huge panel. And we just kind of vibe on if you think that what I'm talking about is kosher or not so kosher. And so the first item up for a bit and listen to the great music. Feel free to jam anytime. You guys, what do you think about horseradish sauce?
Is it kosher or not kosher?
Yeah,
it's definitely kosher, and it's awesome. I mean, it depends on which one we're talking about. Are we talking about the one that's just vinegar and horseradish, or do you have to mix mayonnaise in it or sour cream?
I'm going with the drive-thru. Would you like some horsey sauce with that?
Oh, that one. Yeah, I don't know. That's that processed
Arby's?
stuff. Not as good.
Probably not so
I like,
kosher.
I like beet horseradish. I
Yes.
think that's very kosher. But really, if you want to think about the root, that's totally kosher.
Right?
Because that's what you have to put on your plate.
I've
man.
never grated real horseradish before.
Oh.
I'm sure it would change my life.
Yeah, I probably would.
All right, let's move on to yoga pants. If you think that is kosher or not so kosher. As a father, and you have a couple
I believe
daughters.
in Leviticus, there's a chapter dedicated to yoga pants and men. Man, yoga pants. I mean, I like looking at. I'm sorry, I'm gonna say it. I like looking at them on women.
Good answer.
Look at the hotline. Wow, the calls are just flooding in. All right,
I wear them all the time.
I'd
But
wear
I
them.
cover my ass up.
And
I'd
that
wear
is
them around
big.
the house.
And that
I'd
is
wear-
joy to Alive and Social Network whenever you come in here and you are doing that. It's awesome. Okay, how about this? Mrs. Paul's fish sticks, everybody.
I don't even. I'm trying
You
to
had to
remember what
have
they
them
Sunday
growing
night.
up.
Of
Sunday
course.
night. Sunday night on the TV tray with the TV dinner with
Swanson's
the sticks.
TV dinners,
Yep.
remember
and then
that?
right?
Yeah, totally.
How about Adam? Did you have
Yeah,
that?
I did. I had that with tartar sauce growing up. I'm starting to get in my mind. I've got the flavor of this freezer burned
Oh, yeah.
fish stick.
Totally.
That was terrible.
That is hilarious because I can actually
Yes.
smell that.
Totally agree.
Okay, how about this? Baking soda in your freezer. Is that kosher or not so kosher?
I do it.
You do it. A lot
I
of
do it in the
people do
fridge,
it.
too. Yeah.
Why?
Me too.
To keep the smell, like
Yeah.
it's sort of like, right?
Well, I think you're supposed to actually put it in the refrigerator is what it's supposed to be really helpful
That's
for.
what I
I don't know if
remember.
it works, but I keep it in the freezer too because I need a backup.
All right, a couple more for you. How about this? Reward cards at Super America. Kosher or not so kosher?
I've never used one.
Let me tell you, they're awesome because
they?
your fifth coffee is
Yeah.
free.
Wait.
I mean, seriously, and you can build up all these points and probably get a nut goodie bar.
That's kosher for
It's
sure.
amazing, for sure.
I won't buy. I've had a lot of trouble
Something
with
free.
my. I know. See, right?
That's
I've,
kosher.
I've had a lot of trouble with my essay cards, and I've had to get new ones replaced. It's like they make the little strip burn out, so you have to go in to get a new one, and then they expect that you'll buy something. I think it's set that way.
Genius.
I know.
Yeah.
But BP now you can punch your number in, so I don't even.
See, this is this draws a line between the disorganized and the people who do not pay attention to their budget, and people like you who are much more cautious and reflective on your.
More money for shoes.
There you go.
That's
Touche.
brilliant. Okay, how
Touche
about this
on
one?
that.
Rotisserie chicken at Costco. Kosher or not so kosher?
Kosher.
For
Oh,
sure?
Yeah.
You're going
Oh, yeah.
kosher? Gentile Ben? Awesome. Beck? You've never had a rotisserie chicken from
Well, I
Costco?
have, but there's a lot of bad things in it, so I really stay away from
You
that.
know what we
Maybe
call them?
once.
We call them yard birds. Get a
Yardbirds.
Go pick up a yard bird. If I'm
Oh.
going out to the ice house ice fishing with my friends, we'll pick up a yard bird like someone would pick up a pizza and just cut it up, make sandwiches. It's so good.
Sandwiches.
I'm just going to cut to the NSK chase. That is not so kosher. That whole
Yeah.
story, right?
Yeah,
there,
that's
not so kosher.
Adam, do you eat those? Do you buy those chickens?
I do, but I'm a co-op guy, so I
Oh,
want to
so
make
it's
sure my
organic.
chickens are that my chickens have been pampered with
Not in the yard.
really good.
Big yard.
They sleep in down feathered beds. They're given little headphones to listen to Bach. No, my daughter is a vegetarian, and so she's just really like, if you're gonna eat meat, I would really appreciate it if we know something about
good.
how it was raised. So
That's cool.
And
That's
finally,
cool.
I'm going to defer to Beck on this last one, and that'll end kosher or not so kosher.
I want to keep playing this
It
game.
is- it
I
is-
feel like it could be endless.
I could do this
It
all
is
day, by the
endless.
way. My favorite part is prepping for kosher or not so kosher. But how about this one?
Wait, am I supposed to
Absolutely.
say it? Madonna's vagina?
Kosher or not so kosher? It used to be Kabbalah and not so.
Oh, yeah. See, so now how do
So
we
there
work
would
that?
have been a debate.
Yeah?
Well, then, and can I counter that with Bob Dylan's penis?
Absolutely.
All right. What would happen if the two of them did it together then?
Oh, that would be.
Would it be kosher by insemination of
That-
some way?
We'll have to come
Insertion?
back to. We'll have to review that. On next
The
week's
lines
Kosher.
are off the hook in here, folks.
You guys, anything else before we end this segment? Anything?
No, I'm good.
I just
Yeah.
want to thank you for having me and talking about everything, funny stuff and serious stuff.
It's good. I ended up crying at the end for
Right.
Thank you so much, Adam.
Thank you.
We're so glad you
We
came
appreciate
on.
it. Totally
Appreciate
appreciate
the
it.
opportunity to talk.
You guys, we're going to play out one more song for you. This is When Your Wells Run Dry, and we want to thank Adam Levy one more time, listening to Adam on Not So Kosher, Alive and Social Network. We appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. That's, once again, Adam Levy. I felt like the second time around, it's just all the emotions that I'm feeling. Like my hairs are they're literally standing up. It's like such a flood of emotions. I felt like I was in on a personal therapy session. It was like this cleansing. It was like just an amazing, I don't know. It's just, wow, is all I can say. That was amazing. We are so thankful for him coming in to share that with us, Beck.
I just want to make sure that you check out Adam is going to be the keynote speaker at this year's